Hello everyone, just getting all of my equipment together here so we can get started. And turn off my volume on my iPad. Okay, I'm ready. So today, this has been in my pile of to-do ever since it came out. It's taking up one of my to-do trays. I have like 6 trays and this is one of the top. And basically this is a new set that came out with the new catalog called Extraordinary Flora. And you can buy it a couple of ways. You can just buy the die, which is a die that cuts out the whole image. You can buy the stamps, which is photopolymer, and you can see that if you lay this on here, whatever, it's going to cut all of the pieces out and you're going to end up with lots of pieces. So I'm going to show you that. Or you could forego the stamps altogether and just do washi tape with the die. And this washi tape has 2 colorways. It has a purple and a pink. So let me just show you. You can put this washi tape onto white cardstock, vellum. You could put it onto something clear like packaging or acetate. Whatever, you could put it on a color if you want. And you can see that there's a couple of, it starts turning into pink as you go. Now I'm just gonna cut out, should I cut out both? No, I don't really have time. I'll just do one. I have a lot of ideas today. So I'm just gonna cut that off at the pink and I'm gonna cut this purple one out. Let me get my die cutting thing here. How is everybody doing today while I get this cut? I'd love to know. Hi Christy, hi Nancy. I don't know, having a slow-mo day. I'm just like, I don't know. I've been watching TV, which I never do. I don't watch TV during the day typically. Sorry, this takes a second. Yeah, so I don't know if those top ones will cut because I shifted my plate, but we'll see. Good enough. It'll be good enough. Anyway, so, yeah, I've been rewatching old TV. Isn't that fun? Like Schitt's Creek and, I don't know, stuff that Steve doesn't want to watch, whatever. And I'm like, why am I watching television? I'm ready for the new Bridgerton. I want another Bridgerton. I'm ready. So there is how that works. And look at all these cool pieces that you get. And you can do a lot of things with these pieces. I did die cut some ahead of time so that we could just, I don't know. So we don't have to, you don't have to sit and watch me do all of these. But basically, I want to do a quick card where maybe I should have just flipped them all over this way. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of all of these. I know. Somebody left me a comment not long ago saying, you know, you don't have to show every step that you do or something. And I could just hear that annoyance factor in the comment. And I'm like, I am not one to edit video. I feel like life's too short to spend the whole time at a computer when all I really want to do is craft. You know what I mean? Christy, did you have your graduation? Is it all done? It's kind of like, graduations are kind of like weddings in that, you know, all this prep and everything goes into it, and all this excitement, anticipation, and then bam, it's over and you're moving on. Before you know it, it's like done. So yeah, that's always kind of a weird thing, isn't it? All right, just a couple more. So I could make some of these flat, but all right. Party in 2 weeks. She made the coolest banner, you guys. I hope you show your banner on here, Christy, because it is awesome. I'm so impressed. And I'm sure your daughter's gonna be so excited. You know, I have a lot of wedding stuff happening right now. Lots of relatives going through wedding things, and they had a shower or something where they were like, you don't have to bring gifts. And I'm like, there aren't very many occasions as adults where you get to have gifts. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you want gifts. Are you crazy? Don't ever turn that down. It's like you have like wedding shower, bridal shower, baby showers. I don't know. There's not that much. So you really need to take advantage when you can. All right. So I'm just filling in space here, and I didn't put a thing on this one. I'm just going to use my glue and make this one flat. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to then flip this over and trim anything excess off. What's cool about these washi things and the stamp things is that it's kind of like an instant card. I mean, there's almost no, you know, you don't have like super effort going into something, and you don't have to think too hard about it. So I really like this idea. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. Just like that. And then I'm just going to glue that on. And then what I did was I got out my more messages and I cut a few of those. And then I also grabbed, this one's another full-size cutter kind of thing. And then I also got out the ephemera pieces, because what's really nice about these is that you can pick white or dark messages. There's several different styles, right? And I love that you can just, I don't know, thankful for you. That's a good one. The only thing missing on these is like gold foil. They seem to gold foil everything else. I was like, where's the gold foil? But just look at that. Ta-da! Isn't that great? Now, it would be, you could even cut like another little circle and put this on the circle, and then add some of the gems, like the little pink gems in between all of these. That's awesome. I love that idea. I'm looking to see what I have here. I have these colors. So that's a really simple way to make a card. Sorry, I was looking for my open pack. I know I have one of these open because I've been messing with them. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm just going to grab some of these and just put these on. So, like I said, almost like an instant card. And I love the idea of just putting these on willy-nilly, not paying too much attention, and having this really neat looking finish. All right, so there's card number 1. Ta-da! And then I have a message, and you can put any message you want on there. I kind of like the dark messages too. Let me just punch one of those out so you can see. I don't know what looks better, but anyway, but you get the idea. So there's one way to use this washi set, right? You can mess around with it and make it any way you want. I'm going to set that one aside. I'm going to move on to the next thing I want to show you. Now, I really do want to show you, I want to show you this stamp set is kind of big, okay? And I don't have a block big enough for it. And let's just say I'm too lazy to get out my, I am very lazy to try to get out my Misty to use it. And so I'm using gray granite. No, I think I'll use black. I'm gonna use black. And I just stuck this to my glass mat, you guys. See if we can get this to work. This is how I do a lot of larger size stamps. I'm really lazy. And then I'm just gonna lay this on top, and you wanna lay it on top where it won't shift. And I'm gonna use a block or a pressing tool like that. And when you lift it up, you get your images. So I think that's really easy. And then you just clean this with water. Now the difference between this and like a Misty is that if you say you miss a leaf or you get it a little off, you know, with a Misty you can stamp it again. But with this, of course, it's one and done. So you'd have to turn it over and stamp again if you aren't happy with the impression. But I'm pretty happy with this. I can make this work. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gray granite and I'm going to make some puddles onto here and add some water. And then I'm just going to real quick color in the leaves. And because this is sort of a watercolor look, I don't care if I'm out of the lines, in the lines. Some are light, some are dark, whatever. So this is how I am doing this in a hurry, okay? So I'm just gonna color the whole thing like that. And then I'm taking this die and I'm gonna lay it on here again and cut it out, right? Just like before. Now, I did this ahead of time. That's why I'm like, I didn't know if you'd really want to watch me sit and color, but wipe off my mat. I have some of this paper left. These were the this was the neutral pack designer series paper, and you know they have a whole package of all the different colors and one, you know, different patterns on each side. And so I went ahead and I cut some of that paper out. And I cut 2 different ways. Let me just grab another card front so you can see. So this die right here is from Impressions A Bloom, and it's one of the pieces. You can just cut it as a simple frame, or you can cut out this frame. And when you use this little frame that has the dots on it, one of the things that I like about it is that it cuts it out as 2 pieces. So you get a center and you get a dotted edge. And so I have both pieces here where I'm just like messing around, right? And so I was like, well, I could make 2 cards technically, because I could glue those down, right? And have 2 different cards. So just really quick, I'm going to glue that down so that I can put my flowers on without having it move around on me, because I could totally see me having problems with that. So I'm looking at comments. Okay, so I did break down and order the album retreat this morning. You knew I would. I just decided I wanted to get it soon enough to be able to show you guys what's on it. I'm just going to put a block on that to hold it down while I do this other one. Doing all of these different cards this way kind of reminds me of when I did those trees. Remember when I cut out those trees and I just did like a billion cards all at once? It was just like one after another, and it made the nicest batch of cards. And I feel that way about this washi. It kind of is giving me the same vibe, that you could make a whole bunch of cards all at once. All right, stick. Okay, and then you can see I'm gonna just dump these out. Okay, so you can see that I colored these earlier, and basically what's really nice is you can just put them around at the edge any way you want, and make your cards look however you wish. Gotta love that. And then you can put your you can stamp a message right in the middle. Cool. What do you think? Do you like this? I think this one is really, beautiful. So look, I used 1 batch, 2 cards, and you can glue those down. You can, pick a message. Oh, happy day. Thanks a lot. You could stamp a message on there. Time to celebrate. Wouldn't that be nice for like a wedding anniversary or something? I really like that. My Forever Friends, I cut it off, but you could put it on the edge. I don't know. You could, if you cut out double the flowers, you could make it go all the way around, or make it even more full looking. And you don't have to use them all, Anyway, I just thought that was a really cool idea, because you can make these any color you want. If you're like me, where you've got all these colors of background paper left, you just want to use some up, what a nice way to make a batch of cards. Just put your message on there, maybe a few gems, and call it done. It's very, very easy. A really nice way to make cards, whatever color you wish. All right, my next idea. Okay, so I have all these pieces of embossed bases that I keep in my stash because they're just fun, right? And I thought what would be nice would be, I could put the washi across and then make it almost like a shadow kind of thing. So let me find my washi. Now I don't want, let me just I don't want it to show on the outside. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's mostly going to be covered up. But you can kind of see how it shows through the window. And I really love how that looks. Sorry, I'm looking for my foam tape because it's just easier to use foam tape on stuff like this. Let me just grab some. And I'm gonna elevate this just a little bit. I'm not going to do this all day long, but I just want to show you. Now, the one thing I can tell you is if you're going to do this window thing, you know, I just used my pre-cut pieces. I embossed a whole bunch of pieces and then I cut the hearts out, but it squished my embossing just a little bit. So it's something to think about. You might cut your hearts out first and then emboss the pattern into it. I think that looks really nice. This is kind of showing. I'm gonna take that up a little bit. There. Okay. Do my garbage here. I feel like all of these cards, the ideas are endless. And you know, I watch a lot of other people on YouTube with their ideas. I'm very interested to see what other people do with it. And one of the things that, you know, I told you a while back that Pink Fresh has a lot of these washi and die sets like this that are, trying to make that straight, grouped together like this, and they like to do words. Like they'll do letters, a letter or a word like hi or something, and put the washi behind it. Only they take the pieces, like they would take the pieces like this and then put the window, and you could totally do that. I cut a window out of this one to show kind of the same idea, and you could see how that would look with the window. And then you can take the pieces that you've cut. I cut one of pink and one of purple. That's why it looks so much. But you could see like how fun that could be. You could totally, you know, add greenery or flowers to these hearts. I just think they're gorgeous. Probably the little ones need to go on there. Anyway, what do you think about that? It's neat looking, right? Ta-da! I think that's really neat. So something like that, and then you put your little message on there, time to celebrate, or, you know, pick something. Congratulations, you did it. Thank you. Sending hugs. The black's a little stark on that. But you can see where I'm going, right? Oh, happy day. That's really sweet. I actually like that. I actually like that really well. Okay, so there's another idea. And same thing with this bracket. You know, I did the little window. You could trim it down so that you can see your purple on the outside edge even. And then you could have a few flowers on the outside, which would look really neat. or a border, right? You can just keep building. Just keep building. I think it all looks great. Okay, so that's my other idea. All right. Now, I also thought it would look really nice just to build a simple wreath. Just pick one of your backgrounds. I kind of like this one. I haven't used this one much. And all I'm going to do for this is I have a circle, and I'm going to put the circle down, and the circle is going to be my guide. And if you wanted to, you could even cut an opening in the center so that the inside of your card shows through. That would be really neat too. And then basically you're just going to build a wreath. So I'm going to pick like the larger sized pieces, like opposite side, and then just build, just keep going. So, and you want some of them dimensional, you want some greenery, just keep it going like that. I just think that's gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. It's so simple. And I do like it when there's sprigs and things kind of sticking into the wreath a little bit. So they do give you a lot of little greenery pieces, which help for stuff like that. Like if you are somebody like me, you like that extra little greenery and stuff. And you're simply incredible. Put that on to like foam. You could just put that on a card just the way it is. You could put some pink gems on it. I'm going to open these strawberry gems. I think they will coordinate with these. I just haven't, I know I have one open somewhere, but I haven't actually checked. But yeah, see, look at the pink. Oh, that's so beautiful on there. The gems with it. Neat. Yeah, after I glue this all together, it'll be I don't know, you guys, this is just really neat. And I'll probably go ahead and put the foam tape and stuff and put that card together as well. Okay, now I have another. Okay, so my other idea that I had, it's not entirely my idea. Well, there's a little stamp in here that looks like this. I just want to show you. I've got such a mess going here on the desk, but this little stamp right here, like, what is that? I thought maybe it was a flower stem, and so I tried to stamp it like a flower stem, and it does not look right. So that's not it. And then I thought, well, maybe it's supposed to be a base or a table base. And then Natalie from Stampin' Up did a little demo with this, and she made a little wooden crate, and it was the cutest thing. So I had some crumb cake strips, and I just cut them down. And if you stamp on these, it does make it look like wood. Isn't that neat? Trying to lift my light a little better. There we go. So I used little pecan pie and did that and made that look like wood. And then I thought, wouldn't it be fun I need to use some of these pieces. I bought one of the sweets in this catalog, and I can't remember which sweet it is, sorry. But it came with these gold frames. They're called foiled frames and labels. And I was like, ugh, I will never use these. I don't think I'll use them. But I'm trying to find ways to use them cleverly. And I think it would help me if they matched the dies where I could cut out a center to go with them or whatever. But the nice thing about these frames is that you get an outer and an innie. You get an outside and an innie. So when you pop one out, you are getting just this real simple gold frame that you can use just like that. Or you can use the inside, and the inside is probably what would originally have been a throwaway, I think. But anyway, I thought I'm going to use it. And then the other idea I had, because I have, you remember how I cut the trees? And I told you this reminds me very much of that tree set where we stamped it on all these papers. These are the Thoughtful Journey papers, okay? And where I stamped all the trees and then cut them out, and they made such beautiful cards, and it was so simple. And this one I cut onto this purple piece. I stamped the image, and then you just cut them out. And so by cutting them out of different colors, you can get more greens, more purples, more blues. And so I went ahead and cut this one out. I don't know if that's your style or whatever, but I thought this would be a really cute, I had a wood background. I don't know if that'll look good or not. And then I used that, it's a cutting plate that Stampin' Up carries. And this is what it looks like. It does cut through, you can see there's holes in it. But it's not like, it doesn't cut out. It just cuts through your paper and makes a pattern. And so I thought that would look good. And then I'm just going to find my adhesive wherever I put it. Oh my gosh, my table looks like a tornado went through. All right, and then I want to put down some wood planks to make this crate. Now, I have the rustic crate. I do. And I could totally make a crate using that set. And the only reason I didn't do it today is because not everybody has it. And this was a real simple way to do it. I literally cut this into like little 1/2-inch strips. And I thought, this works. This works just fine for what I want to use it for. And so I'm just going to put these down. Just like that. All right. So I have this. It looks like strips on a piece of paper, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then I'm going to fill my crate. So I love the idea of stuff kind of spilling over a little bit. And you could use any colors that you want because you can use your pieces. You can use all those extra papers and things like I have, like everybody's got. Does everybody have these style of papers? Because I think we do. I think we all do. And you can just do any color. So I picked the weirdest color because I wanted you to see it still looks good even when it's strange looking. Even when it's like yellowish and brown and It still looks good, right? Cool, cool, cool. And so if you want to make this like this, you could just glue it in. You can use a little bit of dimensionals and ta-da. Isn't that pretty, you guys? It's gorgeous. And then, you know, put your message on. Good luck, or way to go, or you're the best. You're the absolute best. I like that one too. Isn't that sweet? Look at that. I just think that's amazing. That is so easy. Cutting this out and making it look, I mean, really, it's just so easy. And you can just tuck into your crate. Ta-da. Okay, so there's another idea. And then the last thing is just, I wanted to use these frames. I don't have anything in particular in mind necessarily, but I do like the idea of, you know, let me find it, like get a card base. Gotta get a card base. I like the idea of using a colored cardstock with this, so I don't know if I'll attach it or not. But if I put that on and then get out my little cut pieces and just, some of mine, you know, didn't cut perfect and I just chopped it off. And look, you can just tuck it in. It's fine. It's fine. So I love it. I think these look beautiful. So what do you think? How much time? You know, I was like, I don't have time to show all my ideas because this would take me forever. So I intentionally pre-cut some of the things because I knew it might take a while. And I'm looking at the clock and I've only been on for 35 minutes, which I usually am on for an hour. So I think I did pretty good here. I didn't glue everything down, but I think this looks great. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then a big message of some kind. You can pick, you know, congratulations or whatever. Oh, happy day. Stamp something, emboss it in gold. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love that. And then put gems on. So you get the drift, right? Lots and lots of ideas. I feel like I have a whole bunch of new cards here. I just need to put messages and glue things down, right? I mean, just, this could almost be a sympathy card, this one. Look how beautiful. I still think this looks like an anniversary card or something in that color. There's something about that color. And then I have my, you know, my little hearts that I cut out. Make a little wedding card or something. I just think it's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Let me grab my time to celebrate or congratulations. Put that on a card. Isn't that sweet? Oh my gosh. That took me like 2 seconds. So you can see there's a lot of options here where you just have, you can just make layers and layers of things and build on them. You could take a little piece of scrap paper and make a little bouquet holder and tuck them in like a little triangle or something and make a bouquet. I'm looking at my if you just curl this around. And then put flowers in it. Could wrap it with gold foil or like little gold thread. All right, well, this is what I've got today, everybody. I've just got these sweet little ideas for these flowers that I think, I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun with them. I cut out, I think, 4 total of the washi to make all of these cards. And I cut 1 out that I stamped. And then I cut out like that 1 out of the paper. So it doesn't take very long to cut those out when you're just cutting out that washi. And look how much you get. This is one of the reasons why I quit buying the Pink Fresh, is because I had so much washi left to store. And so I think the answer to this is to just cut it almost all out. And then the rest of it put onto cardstock, or maybe put it all onto cardstock or something, because I don't like to store these rolls. But other people have room to do that. I just, it drives me a little crazy to have the rolls everywhere. So washi is another thing that I like to use it up. I don't like to store it. I don't think the adhesive stays good on it forever and ever. Although I do have some washi that's kind of old that still works pretty well. Like some of my ugly washi is kind of starting to get old and it works just fine. Anyway, I hope you have a great afternoon and let me know what you think. Bye-bye.